Okay, so the way I begin this head wrap is to start with an adjustable ring. I do that by holding the tail end of the yarn in this hand, wrapping it around 2 fingers. I'm going to bring my crochet hook up underneath the first and bring this loop under. And then I go back under this loop and bring this under and up. I release my fingers and then grab the working yarn. Careful to keep the ring intact. And then I'm going to chain up 4. This chain 4, the first 3 are my double crochet. This is my chain 1. I'm going to be working double crochet with a chain 1 after it. Every time I make a double crochet in this wrap, I will have a chain 1 after it, unless I am going to be changing rows, which will happen later. But for now, there will always be a chain 1 to follow a double crochet. I'm going to do 9 more double crochet followed by chain 1 into this same ring. So I will have a total, including this, of 10 double crochet and 10 chain 1 spaces. So let me go into the ring, double crochet, chain 1, into the ring, double crochet, chain 1, just like that series. So here's my first one, double crochet, chain 1, here's my second, my third. I'm going to do that for a total of 10 times, so I'll have 10 double crochet and 10 chain 1 spaces. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have my chain 1 after my 10th one as well. So let me just double check and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I should have a chain 1 after each. At this point, I'm going to grab the tail and pull this ring closed. Pull it tightly to close it. Now after this 10th chain, I'm going to now slip stitch, not into the chain 1 here, which is the 4th chain from when I started, but into the 3rd, which will be the top of my double crochet. So there's 1, hard to see a little bit, 1, 2, 3. That's the top of my double crochet. I'm going to slip stitch there. Going forward, I'm not going to, while I'm working in the round, I'm no longer going to chain 4 as a double crochet and chain 1. I'm going to actually do what it's called a chainless starting double crochet. I will show you what this is, and the purpose of it is to create the start of a round that looks more uniform and does it more seamless than using a chain 1 or the chains at the beginning of the round. So here's how I do the chainless starting double crochet. I pull up this loop to the height of a double crochet, and then I make sure to hold this, because I'm not going to yarn over using this. I'm going to yarn over using this loop. So I make sure I have enough room to do it, and I hold on to it, because if I try to yarn over without holding on, it just slips off. So I hold on to this loop. I'm going to yarn over using this loop. Hold on to both. Go into the same spot where I just slip stitched. Now yarn over regularly. Pull out of that loop. So now I technically have 3 loops on my hook, like a double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through those last two. And there's my chainless starting double crochet. I'll show you that again at the beginning of the next round. And then I make sure to chain one afterward. So this is round 2. I'm going to increase in this round by making 2 double crochets, each followed by a chain 1 into each of the double crochets in this round, from the first round. So in the first one I had 10 double crochets and 10 chain 1 spaces. In this one, this round 2, I'll end up with 20 of each. So I'm going to go in double crochet back into the same space and double crochet and chain 1 afterward. So I've got 2 there. I'm going to put 2 here. I'll go ahead and show you. Chain 1 after and put another double crochet and chain 1. I'm going to do that in each space all the way around until I have 20 double crochets and 20 chain 1 spaces. Okay, here at the end of round 2, I've got 20 double crochets and 20 chain spaces, including the chain space after the 20th double crochet. At this point, I'm going to slip stitch into the chainless double crochet that I made at the beginning. It might be a little bit hard to tell, but if you look at it from the side, you still do have kind of the V that you would get from a normal stitch, which is right here. I go up underneath both of those, so I kind of look at it from the front and slide up underneath both of those loops and slip stitch there. You can see what a difference that makes from a chain, like we did in the first, to a normal double crochet, which blends in much better. I'm going to do the same thing here now, starting round 3. I'm going to pull up to the height of a double crochet, hold on to this loop, and yarn over using this very loop, like this. And now I've got 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to go back into this same double crochet that I slip stitched into. Yarn over, pull up a loop, still holding on, yarn over, pull through these first 2, and now I can let go, yarn over, and pull through these last 2. There's my double crochet and my chain 1. Now I'm going to double crochet again into this same double crochet and chain 1 again. I'm increasing now in this round, not in every stitch, but in every other stitch. For those of you who are familiar with crocheting a circle, would know that in the second round you're going to increase in the third it's every other, and as you go forward you'll increase and then have an additional stitch before the increase again. But I won't get ahead of myself, so let me show you. I've got my increase here, and I'm just going to put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, followed by chain 1. Increase here, so 2 double crochet, followed by chain 1 in each, or after each, and then 1 in the next. So it goes 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Some more yarn. So I've got 2, 1, 2, 1. That means here I'm going to put 2. You'll notice a pattern as well as we increase, because we're going to increase until we have 50 double crochets and 50 chain spaces. Your increases will always go on the right side of the increase from the previous round. 2 here, and 1 here. When I say 1, I'm always referring to the chain 1 space afterward as well. I'll meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, I've reached the end of round 3, and here I've got 2 double crochet and 1 double crochet. Again, always including the chain 1 space after. 2 1 2 1 2 1. That pattern should be it all the way around, but always double check because it can be very easy to mix it up. But that gives us 30 double crochet and 30 chain spaces, including this last one after the last double crochet. Make sure we always include that as well. So here we are back at the chainless double crochet from the beginning, and we're going to slip stitch right up underneath those 2 loops right there. You can see that. And slip stitch. And we're going to start this next round the same way. You guessed it, pull up, chainless starting double crochet, and chain 1, and double crochet back into the same stitch, and chain 1. Now we're on round 4. So we've increased here. Now we're going to put 1 double crochet, chain 1 here, 1 double crochet, chain 1 here. One there, 1 there. And we're going to increase again here. 2, including the chains. So there's 1 and 2. And then 1 and 1. So in round 4, we're working 2 1 1 2 1 1 all the way around. And as I mentioned before, your increase should always be like on the right leg of the increase previous. So we had our increase here, and on the right side of it, it's here, and on the right side of this one, here. So I'll meet you at the end of this round. Alright, ta-da! End of round 4. Starting to get a little bit too big for the screen, but that's okay. So we now have 40 double crochet, including the chain 1 spaces, which I always want to say, make sure to include that chain 1 space after the final double crochet. And this is now round 5, our last increase round. Woohoo! We're moving forward. So let's slip stitch into this first chainless double crochet and make our chainless starting double crochet into the same stitch. Chain 1 after, double crochet into the same stitch, chain 1 after, and now we are going to put 1 double crochet plus the chain 1 into the next 3 stitches. This is our pattern, our repeat for this row. 2 1 1 1. So here in the right leg of our increase from the last row, we'll increase again. And put just one into the next three. Two into the right leg of the increase from the last round. And one into the next three. So there we go. We're going to work that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, at the end of round 5, and like I said, our last increase round. So we've got 50 double crochets and 50 chain 1 spaces in between, including this last one after the last double crochet. And I'm going to slip stitch into the first chainless double crochet. There we go. We're going to chainless double crochet into the first stitch, or the last one we just slip stitched into, just like we've been doing, but this time no more increasing. So chain 1 after, and then double crochet and chain 1 into each stitch all the way around. So at the end of round 6, you will have again 50 double crochet and 50 chain spaces. Just one in each. Easy peasy. We will do that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Boom, end of round 6, where we have not increased anymore. We have put 1 double crochet plus its chain 1 into each stitch around. Now, say it with me, which includes the chain 1 after the last double crochet. We're going to slip stitch to join and do what we've been doing. As a matter of fact, we're going to do round 6, technically again what we did in round 6, we're going to do for round 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you continue to do exactly what we've done for round 6, for round 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'll meet you at the end of round 10. And we're back. This is the end of round 10. Just going to double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I've got my chain 1 here after my last double crochet. This is the last time we're going to actually do this. Row 11 is the first row that we will stop working in the round, and we will start chaining up and turning our work. Right now, what you've got is like the formation of the beginning of a beanie, which is, kind of like, rounding this shape. I know you can't see really great in here, but we're going to stop here in forming a beanie and turn this into our crocheted crown cover by NissiYah Designs. Woo! So So here we're going to slip stitch, and that's the end of round 10. Now row 11. Here we will do our chainless starting double crochet. This is the last time we're going to do this as well. We're going to move into this stitch just like we did before. Double crochet, chain 1. We're going to do that all the way across, except I'm going to stop and then meet you before we crochet into this final one. We go all the way around, and then I'll meet you back on this one before I get to this one, because that's when things are going to change up. Okay, we're back, and I'm almost to the last stitch, so let me go ahead and put this one here. And my last chain one after that. And now I'm going to double crochet into this stitch. Normally, like I've been saying up until this point, we would chain one after this, but no more. Because we are not going to slip stitch to join here. If we were going to slip stitch to join like previously, we would always want to have this chain one in between to keep it spaced out. But we're not going to do that now. From this point, we're going to be working back and forth in rows. So no, we're not going to chain the starting double crochet. Now we're going to chain 4. And this now counts as these 3 are the double crochet, and this is the chain 1. We're going to turn the wrap and work back the other direction. And we're going to work around like that, going forward. So this is not round 11, but I'm changing the terming to row 11 because we're not working the round anymore. So we're just going to work back the other way. Into each double crochet, chain 1. Double crochet, chain 1. Double crochet, chain 1. All the way back to the other side. And from this point on, we're creating basically a split here from which we will crochet our straps later. So I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm going to double crochet into that final chainless double crochet we had from beginning of row 11. And now chain up 4, turn, row 13. This is the same as row 12. This is the double crochet, this is the chain 1. So we go into the next double crochet and chain 1, and we'll do that all the way across. As a matter of fact, rows 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 will all be the same. I'm stopping in now at the end of row 13 to show you how to double crochet into the 3rd chain of the chain 4 that you did at the beginning of row 12. So I want to show you what that looks like. Here's the chain 4. So we kind of see it from the back here. But here's the first one, 2nd, and 3rd. Here's the 4th one. This is our chain 1. We're not crocheting into that. So you can kind of tell which is the 3rd one by just seeing where your last actual double crochet was, which was here, skipping this chain right next to it, and then I'm going to go ahead and double crochet right after that. That way you've got your last double crochet and it's still evenly spaced out like the rest. And that was the 1, 2, 3, third chain. So technically the top of your double crochet there, and not into the fourth one, which was your chain 1. So we're going to chain up 4, turn, and keep working back and forth in rows until you complete row 20. Yay, we're at the end of row 20. Trying to show the best I can because I know we don't have a whole lot of room here. But here's our top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in this row is where we split. And 11 actually. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So in row 21, we are not going to chain up 4, we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to work single crochet across. Starting with this first stitch here. I also want to make mention that in these rows here, you should have total 99 stitches, 50 double crochet, and 49 chain spaces. So that's going to be 99 single crochet, starting in this very first one, this very first double crochet. So we chain up 1, that chain does not count as a stitch. We're going to single crochet into the first stitch, single crochet into the following chain space, single crochet into the next stitch, the double crochet, and the next stitch, chain space, single crochet in every stitch across, every double crochet in every chain space, which will leave you with 99 single crochet at the end of row 21. And I'll meet you back once you have completed that. Alright, so at the end of row 21, I just want to show you where you're going to place your last 2 single crochet. So we will have a total of 99, so right now I'm at 97. I've put a single crochet in this double crochet right here. And because this is a chain, it represents my chain space, and this represents my double crochet, my first double crochet from the last row. Each one get a single crochet. So I'm going to single crochet right here into this chain space, and then I'm also going to place a single crochet into this third chain, which is the equivalent of putting it into the double crochet that those 3 chains represent. So now I got single crochet all the way across. I'm going to chain up 1, which does not count as a stitch, turn, and put a single crochet in every single crochet across. This is making the border of the front border of the wrap. So I'm going to start here. And put 1 in each across. This is row 22. I'm going to do the same thing. In fact, in this row, 1 single crochet in every single crochet across for row 22, 23, 24, and 25, with a total of 99 single crochet in each one of those rows, and a total of 5 rows of single crochet stitches. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 25. Alright, so I'm almost at the end of row 25. Once I reach the end of this row, I'll have 99 single crochet and 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of single crochet. And that, like I said, makes the front border of our crown cover. So I'm almost to the end. And then I'm going to show you how to begin the straps. And we'll be moving back to our double crochet chain 1 pattern. So I've made it to the end of row 25. Put my last single crochet in, and I'm at the split. I'll try to show where I am here. Just a second. Here we go, let's get it together. Okay, so here's the top of the crown of the wrap, or the crown of the crown cover. And I've made it down here. This is 20 rows and 5 rows, so 25. But here, halfway up, is when I stopped working in the round and started working rows back and forth. So that left me with this split opening. And that's where I'm going to start working now. I'm going to make a strap on each side of the split. And that's what's for the wrapping. So, in order to do that, I'm not going to cut my yarn. I'm not going to disconnect anything. I'm just going to work from here. I'm going to chain up 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is connecting to the end of my, I'm working now on the side of these single crochets. So this is the end of the 5th row. I'm going to now move, and these 3 right here are double crochet. This 4th one is a chain, just like before. So I'm going to move over two rows and go into what I believe is the 3rd. But it's fine. You can either go in here or here, as long as you're like at least a space over and not in the very next row of single crochet. So I'm going to go right here in the end, actually yarn over and go in and double crochet and chain 1. So this gives me 1, 2 double crochet. Now I'm going to go into the top of this double crochet. Yarn over and double crochet right there in that space, which is, if you look at it, the top of this one, but we're working from the side now. And chain 1, and I'm going to do that across the sides here. Yarn over and work a double crochet into the top of the next double crochet that I had, but only from the side. Yarn over into the top of the next. When I say the top, because from this view, it would be the top of these double crochets as I'm moving down, or the bottom, however you want to look at it, but just keeping that mesh pattern going. Yarn over, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. It should be easy to find where you're putting your double crochets. Because you've worked mesh all the way up, you're just going to continue into these spots. So one will go here, one will go here. After that, it might get a little tricky to find it, but I'm going to help you. All right, so at this point, I've got my first double crochet here, which is my chain 3, and then my chain 4 for the chain space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm looking for 13. My 13th one. I'm going to try to show you because they all blend in together, the color. But my 13th double crochet that I'm working sideways for the strap is going to be right here, which is the bottom of the double crochet from row 11. The bottom of that one, or the top of the last double crochet from row 10. I'm going to yarn over and put a double crochet right there. At that point, I've got 13 double crochet and 12 chain 1 spaces, and that is what I want for my strap. So here I'm going to, I've already by default chained up 1, but I'm going to chain up 2, 3, 4 and turn. And now I'm going to, again, this is my double crochet, this counts. This counts as my double crochet, the first 1, 2, 3 chains, and the 4th chain is my chain 1. And I am going to now put a double crochet, then chain 1 in each of these. So it'll be 13 double crochet, back and forth across for 56 total rows. This is 1. This begins the second row for a total of 56 rows. That's going to give us a nice long strap to wrap around. From that point on, we will decrease, and I'll show you how to taper the ends of each strap so that when you wrap it around your head, it's easy to wrap. There's nothing easy for me about trying to wrap my hair with a rectangular shaped wrap that is rectangular shaped at the end. I want to taper those ends so they're easily tucked in and don't cause any bulge. So, like I said, 56 total, and then I'll come back and show you how to taper it off, and then we'll be close to finish. We'll have one more strap to go. All right, we have now crocheted 56 rows from the top, well, from the split of the crown cover, going this way. And here we are. So now I'm going to be creating the tapered ends of the straps. I am going to be decreasing by crocheting 2 double crochet together after the initial chain 4 in each row until I get just to 1 stitch left. What I mean by that is I've chained up 4 like I normally would, double crochet and chain 1, and I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch like I've been doing, but I'm only going to pull through 2. Then I'm gonna yarn over again and go into the next stitch. Pull through 2. So I've got the first half of this double crochet and the first half of this double crochet on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So technically I've got 1 double crochet, my chain 1, and then these 2 double crochets become 1. If you look at it from the top, then I've got the 1 here and the 1 here. I had 2, now I have 1. So I'm going to decrease by 1 double crochet each row going forward. So I'm going to finish out this row. This is row 57. Oops. Again, I'll be decreasing and tapering this thing off to a point so that the ends are easy to tuck in. When you have just a wide, blunt end of a wrap like that, turning, it just makes, to me, I can't speak for anyone else, but it makes it hard to wrap and kind of tuck in the ends and make it look neat. It has more of a bulky look to it, which I do not want to achieve. So I'm working to avoid that. Alright, so I've reached the end of this row. I'm going to chain up 4. And turn. And I'm going to decrease on these next 2 by doing 2 double crochet together like I just did on the last row. So I'm going to go in here, pull up a loop and pull through 2 only. Yarn over, go into the next double crochet, pull up a loop, go through 2 only. Then yarn over and pull through all 3. And chain 1, and 1 double crochet and chain 1 in each of the next. Just to keep the mesh and light state of the straps, just like we've been doing with the whole crown cover. I'm going to show you one more time. I'm also going to show you, so here is the decrease from the last row. I just work into this like a normal double crochet, not working into both. Based on the top of this thing, it's just 1. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the top of it. See, I've got the 2 strands on here, just like a normal double crochet. Yarn over and pull through it and double crochet just like normal. And go into the chain, the 3rd chain of my chain 4, and chain up 4 again. Hopefully you can see here that it's starting to, can't really tell, but it's starting to head that way and that way. Soon, after a couple more rows, it'll be very evident. So I'm going to do the same thing one more time and show you. Go into this next one and pull up and pull through 2, and into the next double crochet, pull up, pull through 2, and then finish that off and chain 1. So I've decreased here. I'm going to do this for several more rows so you can begin to see the decrease, and then I'll show you what it's like at the very end. Okay, let me show you how it's tapered down. This is how it was looking, and as we begin our decreases here, 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 you know, in each row, it's getting slimmer and slimmer and tapering down to a point, which is what we want. All right, so here, we've got 1, 2, and 3. I'm decreasing down to these 2, not including this one, of course. And now I'm decreasing into the last 2 stitches here. So I've got the main one, the first one, and then I'm going to decrease this into this. So basically I've got 2 here, 1 and 2. Once I get to this point, if I were to chain up, I'll just show you. I don't have a place to really double crochet. Well, let's see. I do. I could double crochet there. So I chain up 4, not decreasing. I'm just going to double crochet directly into the chain 3, or the 3rd chain from my chain 4 actually. And then I'm going to chain up 1, turn, and single crochet at the very tip. To me, that just kind of seals it off. And then I'm going to pull through here, cut my yarn, and just connect it. So I've got my tapered end. Which is going to be much easier to tuck into the wrap. I'm going to come back and show you how to join the yarn for the 2nd strap. And then we'll do the same thing as we did with the 1st strap. And it'll be done. So easy. Alright, so I'm going to show you now, after we have completed the 1st strap, where to attach the yarn for the 2nd strap. And we're almost done, y'all. So if you take a look at where the 1st strap began, we didn't have to break the yarn here to attach it. So we worked our finishing rows 21 through 25 for the border in the front, and then we just chained up here and started working sideways. And this is the right side. So I look at the front side of this double crochet and know that that's where I want my first row on my other strap, my row 1 on my 2nd strap, to also be the front or the right side of the double crochet. So here is the other side of the split of the crown cover. So here's the top of the part that goes on the head, and here's the split that we made. So this is round 10 from the top, right here. Trying to show you so you can see clearly. If this is the top of the crown cover, this is where we began, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And round 10 is where the last round we joined before the split. So round 11, or row 11, is here. I'm going to attach my yarn into this first space here, the bottom of the double crochet from round 11, or the top of the double crochet from round 10. I'm starting here at this side instead of starting here and working over, because I want round 1 on both of my straps to be the right side of the double crochet. In actuality, this truly probably does not matter at all, but for me, just because I like little details like that, I want things to be symmetrical. So that's why I'm starting here. So as I said, you can look at it from the other way as well. This is 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, my single crochets, and then my rows working down to the bottom of row 11. This is my row 11 double crochet, and this is my row 10 double crochet. And where they meet in this hole is where I'm going to attach my yarn. I attach my yarn in this way. Everyone, you can do it your own way. I'm just going to show you mine. I'm going to go in, grab the yarn, leave the tail on this end, pull the yarn through, and chain up 1, 2, 3, 4. So these first three are my double crochet, and as always this fourth one acts as my chain. My double crochet and my chain 1. And then let me show you where I'm going to insert the yarn so that I end up with 13 double crochets and 12 chain spaces like I did on the other side. I'm working into the side of this split right here. But if I look at it, there's a space at the top of each double crochet that I've made on the end here. Or you can look at it at the bottom. It's where they meet. So in this case, I've got a double crochet here from, this is the top of row 11 or the bottom of row 12. But they meet right there, and that's where I'm going to go in and double crochet there. And chain 1. So now the top of row 12 or the bottom of row 13 are at the top of row 12 or at the bottom of row 13. This is where they meet. I'm going to double crochet right there. It should be pretty easy to see and find because I'm not working into the side of the actual double crochet or chain. I'm working into the spot where they meet. So there's already been a double crochet work there already. So I'm going to do that all the way up the sides of the double crochet rows. And of course my first ones here, my first chain up here that I did when I attached the yarn counts as my first double crochet in my chain 1. I leave a pretty long tail when I attach the yarn until I go back and tighten it, and I will tie knots to make sure stuff doesn't come loose. But in the meantime, I leave a long enough tail so I don't have to worry about it slipping through. So now this is my first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. I'm going to end up with 13. So this is number 6. Number 7. Eight. 9. 10, 11. So when I get to 11, this is my last ones before I start working into the sides of the single crochet. So it's the top of the double crochet from row 20. So there we go. Now I need 2 more because this is 11. I need 2 more so I can do the same number of double crochets, 13, and chain spaces, 12 from my other strap. So I'm just going to, of course I've done my chain 1. This is row 21, 22. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm saying this is the side of row 23. I just want it to be kind of like halfway in between here and here. So I'm going to double crochet into the side of what to me looks like row 23. If it's not perfectly that, it's fine as long as it's spaced out to give you, you know, the same effect. And then chain 1, and finally my last double crochet of this row is going to go. Basically, I could try to work it into the side right there, but that to me is too hard. I'm just going to put my hook into right here, the first double crochet of row 25. And double crochet there. And it gives me the same effect, easy peasy. And that is how I attach the yarn and work my second strap. From here on out, rows 2 through 69 are going to be the exact same as the first strap. So I'll come back and show you when I get to the end. We'll weave in the ends, and then you've got a NissiYah Designs Crocheted Crown cover. Yay! I've made it to row 52 of my second strap, and I have maybe 1 yard of yarn left. So that 1 cake of yarn that I'm using of sugar wheel cotton solids got me through most of this project, but it's at row 52 on the second strap where I'm gonna have to now, where I'm gonna go ahead and attach new yarn from the second cake. So the way I do that is to just I finish my final double crochet on row 52, and when I chain up for my chain 4 on row 53, I'm just going to do it with a new yarn. So I kind of hold it back here and chain up with that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I secure it. I tie knots in my work. I can't stand the thought of something coming undone, so I go ahead and tie a knot there, make it as tight as I can and as small as I can. That makes me feel much more secure. So we'll tie 1 and 2. And so there I have now my 1, 2, 3. My 4th one is kind of stuck down in there, but that's okay. And that's how I just attach my new yarn. I wanted to show you at what point I actually do that. So this is row 53. I'm going to work the same way through row 56, and then we're going to work on decreasing just like we did on our first strap. I'll go over that with you briefly again, and then that should take care of things. I'll pause and come back and meet you. Strap 2, row 56 completed, and we're starting to decrease now. I'm going to chain up 4 just like I did before, turn, and double crochet 2 together in the next 2 double crochet. So I'll go into this next stitch, yarn over, and pull through 2 like I'm going to do a double crochet, but I don't finish it. Then I yarn over, no chain 1 yet, yarn over and go into the next double crochet, yarn over and pull through 2. So I have the first beginning or first half of double crochet here and here. Then I yarn over and pull through both. This turns 2 double crochets into 1, and then I chain 1. So now at the end of this row I'll have 12 double crochet and 11 chain 1 spaces. Okay, row 58, I chain up 4 and turn like I've been doing, and I'm going to double crochet 2 together in the next 2 double crochet. So I go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook, and these 2 double crochet become 1. At the end of this row I'll have 11 double crochet and 10 chain spaces. Row 59, doing the same thing. I chained up 4, double crochet 2 together, and the next 2 double crochet. At the end of this row, I'll have 10 double crochet and 9 chain spaces. You can see a pattern here. We're decreasing and tapering off just like we did before. So I'll meet you back here once I have just a couple more rows to go. Okay, I'm at row 64. I'm meeting you back here. I've chained up 4. You can see the taper on our second strap. Looking good. It'll be easy to tuck and wrap, or wrap and tuck. So I'm going to now double crochet 2 together in the next 2. It's just a pattern in which we're doing the same thing with just fewer repeats each time. Get to the end of the row, double crochet into the 3rd chain of the chain 4 from the previous row, chain up 4 and turn, double crochet 2 together into the next. This is row 65, chain 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, and double crochet into the 3rd chain, chain up 4 and turn. I'm going to double crochet 2 together here, chain 1, and then double crochet into the 3rd chain, chain up 4 and turn. So here we are down to 1, 2, 3 double crochet and 1, 2 chain spaces. We've chained up 4 here, and we're going to double crochet 2 together into these 2, into our decrease from the last round and the chain 3. Or the 3rd chain, not the chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain up 4. I'm going to go ahead and double crochet into that 3rd chain. So in these last 2 rows, we technically have 1 double crochet here and 1 here because these 2 have become 1. And we got 1 chain, 1 space. Same thing here, but it still has done its tapering effect. We've got the 1 here and the 1 here that we just made, and our 1 chain space. So we're going to single crochet, and this is our very last one. Go ahead and put a single crochet into that spot, or you could do it as the pattern says, go around like this. Either way is fine, doesn't matter. Go in, pull through, and then pull through one more time. And now it's time to fasten off on this side. So I'm just going to snip the yarn with enough tail for me to weave in, pull through, and now we've got our second strap done, and all we have to do now is weave in our ends and we are finished with our wrap. Woohoo! Alright, I am going to do my best to show you how to wrap this now that you have finished crocheting your crown cover or purchasing one from NissiYah.com. I have made the reels on Facebook and Instagram which show quickly how they do it, but I'm going to just try to walk you through it so you can wear it, have a quick tutorial on how to wear it. So what you're going to do is make sure that the strap, like the borders in the front and the straps are hanging down. And you're going to put, just put it on your head like you're placing on a scarf or even like a do-rag, I guess. Trying my best to do this without a mirror. This is going to be the real test of how easy this is if I can do it without seeing myself. And then make sure your locks are tucked in. I don't know if any of you have seen the reel that I had. My daughter, her locks are all the way down her back. She's had them for quite some time, and I tested one of these. I put her locks into this one actually, and she was able to wear it just fine. So this is a one size fits most. I'm not by any means trying to say that everybody's head is going to fit in here or everybody's locks are going to fit, but in general, you know, and if you want to make some modifications to it yourself, you could definitely do that. But anyway, so make sure it's as even as possible, and you're going to also do your best to make sure that this is not too tight. You don't want to have a headache at any point. So now you got the two straps. You're going to crisscross them. It becomes very easy to just grab the straps and wrap them like this, but you see how they're kind of bound up or, you know, squinched together. We don't want that. The way we're going to make this wrap do what we want it to do and give us the look that we want is to make that the straps stay open as much as possible. Spread open and flat. So we're going to work one at a time. The first one, making sure it stays open and flat across, and bring it across kind of like, you know, more closer to the front, and bring that around. This next one, making sure that it stays as open as possible, and bring that one, just bring it slightly further back than the first strap you did. Bring that over and around. Easy, right? Now this one, make sure you stretch it back open and wrap this one just slightly further than the last go around. And then once you've done that, you've reached pretty much the end of it. This is why we tapered it, because if it was just a blunt rectangular end, it would make for a bulky trying to tuck it in, and I just can't stand that. So that's why we just did the simple act of tapering it down so it'll easily tuck in. And we're just going to tuck it underneath somewhere that we previously wrapped. I'm just feeling for a spot, and we tuck it in. It's cotton, it's not going to slip around. And then we'll take the final strap, and what I do, because I can feel that I still got like the shape of my hair here, I'm going to take this one, make sure it's flat, and kind of, you know, use this to shape that. Bring this around. I can't see myself, so hopefully it's looking all right. And then bring that and tuck it somewhere on this side. Of course, you'll be looking in the mirror, so you'll have a little bit more, you know, control over how it ends up looking, but that's it. You're done. Super, super easy, and the more times you do it, the easier it becomes. So I'm going to try to turn around so you can see the back. You can see everything okay. And that's done. Ta-da!